Hold on. Did you really think you'd seen it all in the world of reality TV? Because just when you thought the drama was getting out of hand, Mendeecees went and raised the bar even higher. And guess what? We're talking about an explosive showdown that involves love. And hip-hop fans are questioning everything they know about loyalty, love, and loyalty again because apparently that's a thing. Imagine this. Rasheeda, fiery as ever, confronting Yandhi over some unspoken beef. But wait, it gets better. Yes, the same guy who once called himself, yes, you heard correctly. A family man enters and slaps Rasheeda in the middle of their heated argument. It's the kind of slap that could have been featured in a telenovela. But what was his justification? Was he defending his wife? Or was he just in the mood, and you thought the drama surrounding love and hip-hop was all prearranged? Well, think again. Stay tuned because we're going to reveal the year's biggest scandal, and I promise you it's incredible. If you thought you had seen it all in terms of drama, you have to reconsider the world of reality. Nothing could have prepared us for the explosive showdown between Mendeecees Rasheeda and Yandhi. Is a typical day in the world of love and hip-hop. But on this particular day, Rasheeda, who is known for her fiery attitude and uncompromising demeanor, walks into a room ready to confront Yandhi, her longtime friend, about some deep-rooted tension. Yandhi is not one to back down and is ready for a fight. The tension in the room is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Mendeecees, her husband, who appears to have had enough of the drama. Just when you thought the battle would be between Rasheeda and Yandhi, what happens next? Mendy enters the scene, looking as though he's had enough of the back and forth, tired of being the peacemaker, and obviously lost his patience. Instead of telling Rasheeda to calm down or saying something like, "Let's talk it out," he slaps her, in the middle of this heated altercation without hesitation, slapping her across the face. But here's the real kicker. Mendy realizes that the slap was only the beginning of the drama. He continues with words that make the tension in the room skyrocket. He turns to Yandhi and asks, "You think you can touch my wife and get away with it?" We've seen people yell, argue, and throw drinks, but a full-on slap is a level of drama that no one saw coming. Mendeecees was the one who finally said what everyone was thinking, enough is enough. What happens when you have that kind of explosive reaction on a reality show like this? You get public outrage, social media backlash, and endless speculation. However, let's take a moment to set the record straight. It wasn't just about Mendeecees defending his wife as he claims. For months or even years, there had been whispers and rumors about Rasheeda and Yandhi and their ongoing conflict. We've seen Mendeecees go through the highs and lows with his family, his relationship with Rasheeda, and even with Yandhi. So why did he lose it this time? Was it because of unresolved business between the two women, or was there something more profound that had been simmering for too long? Let's start by breaking down what Mendeecees has been through, from dealing with his past legal issues to the constant scrutiny of being at the center of the love and hip-hop franchise. Long, or was it just a matter of protecting his pride? Whatever the cause, one thing is certain. This slap wasn't just a single moment of annoyance. Rather, it was the culmination of months' worth of tension. And let's not forget that public confrontations like this don't go unpunished. Even after the scene is cut and the cameras stop rolling, there are still real repercussions. However, before we get to the aftermath, let's take a closer look at what caused Mendeecees' outburst. Rasheeda and Yandhi have been at odds for a while. The tension was reaching dangerous levels in the months leading up to the incident. Rasheeda, who has always been a strong, independent woman, hasn't been shy about sharing her displeasure with Yandhi's actions and comments. Their relationship has been on a downward spiral, with both women verbally sparring and exposing their private issues for everyone to see. This wasn't a small argument over a misunderstanding. Rather, it was a feud that had been building like a storm just waiting to explode. Mendeecees' authority and relationship with Rasheeda. And let's not even begin to discuss Mendeecees' feelings about this. He's been caught in the middle, trying to play the peacekeeper, but all that has done is fuel more resentment. So when this moment finally reached a breaking point, Mendeecees entered the scene, saw Rasheeda and Yandhi fighting, and decided to step in such a dramatic way. This wasn't exactly a last-minute decision, rather it was the last straw, and we're not just talking about some minor annoyance. Mendeecees finds himself at his breaking point due to the tension between the two women, but once he makes a dramatic move, there's no turning back. The aftermath is where things start to get really interesting because, in addition to dealing with the public backlash for slapping Rasheed over something that is already going viral online, he also has to deal with the consequences of his actions, on the show and in his personal life. This incident isn't just a slap. It's a domino effect that could change everything. Although the fallout is far from over, let's first examine how the public responded to this shocking moment and the drama that is developing as a result. What happens when a highly anticipated reality TV moment like this goes down? Social media explodes. People have opinions and aren't afraid to share them. A few minutes after the incident aired, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook were ablaze with both fans and critics. Hashtags like Mendeecees slap, Rasheed ABSY Andy, and Hatras love and hip-hop drama began trending. Everyone, from ardent supporters to casual viewers, was commenting on the explosive moment. The problem is, that wasn't just a small argument between two women. It was drama at its best. Fans were divided, with some supporting Mendeecees, others siding with Rasheeda, and some outright shocked by the violence of the slap. What's even more bizarre, though, is that some people blamed Yandi for the entire incident, claiming that none of would have occurred if Yandi hadn't been so rude and disruptive. Justified saying that no one should ever touch a man's wife. It's a crazy back and forth, and the internet is obsessed with it. Fans are consuming every moment of the drama, and love and hip-hop is trending more than ever. However, behind the scenes, things were getting out of hand. You see, when reality TV gets too real, producers start to perspire. Rumor has it that the showrunners of Love and Hip Hop weren't prepared for this level of pressure. Let's face it, they love drama. We thought we were filming a normal confrontation, maybe a drink toss at most, but Mendy went off script and off the rails. Rumors began, swirling that the cast and crew were forced into an emergency meeting right after the scene wrapped. According to one anonymous producer, the slap in a velvet room wasn't scripted, pre-approved, or even in the outline for that day's shoot. Rasheeda allegedly refused to continue filming until something was done because she felt degraded, humiliated, and betrayed. Not just by Mendeecees, but according to the entire production team, she said, "This ain't just TV no more. That man really put his hands on me." However, the storyline took a turn for the worse when Rasheeda was upset. According to sources, Yandandi wasn't exactly sitting quietly in the background when the slap occurred. Instead, she got up, took off her microphone, and stormed out of the venue. This was because she knew what was going to happen next. Chaos, controversy, and probably a PR nightmare. The cameras were rolling the entire time, and insiders are claiming that Rasheeda didn't just drive home in a rage. That's right, she drove straight to Kirk, her husband, and apparently broke down in tears as she told him what had happened. Kirk, who usually keeps a low profile when things go wrong, allegedly didn't remain silent this time and called producers, lawyers, and even some of the other cast members to demand that Mendy be held accountable. We're talking about legal threats, demands for public apologies, and Kirk allegedly told one of the producers, "You let him put his hands on my wife. I don't care if it's TV or not. You all better fix this." According to one shady source, he's attempting to do damage control, saying that it wasn't a slap, but rather a reactionary tap, and that Rasheeda had gotten in his face and said some disrespectful things about Yandi and his family. One purported quote from him read, "She was coming for my wife. What was I supposed to do? Let her disrespect us." Fans are resurfacing clips from previous seasons where he has been passive-aggressive, manipulative, or just plain sketchy. They are accusing him of having a hero complex and using his family man image as a shield for controlling behavior. Meanwhile, Rasheeda's supporters are rallying hard, rallying behind Rasheed. Oh, Mendy sees that the internet was not buying it. People are digging up every old moment from the show and painting a picture that's, let's say, not great. Not great. Reposting the video and commenting on it were influencers, bloggers, and even some celebrities. One post went viral saying, "Rasheeda always carried herself like a queen. This was disgusting. Protect Black women at all costs." Over 250,000 people liked that tweet alone in a single day. This isn't just drama, it's a movement. But wait, there's more. In the midst of this storm of criticism, another layer of the scandal falls like a ton of bricks. Allegedly, Rasheeda contacted Mona Scott Young, the executive A source close to the production, claims that Mona informed Rasheeda, "We didn't see it coming." were reviewing the footage and having internal discussions. Mona was apparently taken by surprise when the producer of Love and Hip Hop demanded explanations. We're all freaking out and trying to figure out how to spin this without getting sued, according to some insiders. Some even claim Mona wanted to remove the footage completely out of fear that it would cause a wave of negative press, but it was too late because it had already been leaked to a few media outlets. The situation had completely blown out of control. Screenshots, behind-the-scenes whispers, TikToks, and even blurry, grainy vertical video clips were already going viral. Suddenly, it wasn't just a scene from a reality show, it was a national headline. TMZ, The Shade Room, Hollywood Unlock. Everyone jumped on it. Articles with titles like Mendeecees caught slapping Rasheeda in explosive scene, and Where was Yandandi throughout? All of this appeared everywhere. No posts, no stories, no comments, nada, radio silence. If you know Yandandi, you know that she is never quiet unless she is avoiding the heat or has a big cooking project to complete. However, the silence didn't stop people from dragging her. Critics asked, "How are you going to be in the middle of all this and not say a word?" Others accused her of controlling the situation, while others accused her of using Mendeecees as her attack dog, knowing he would blow up and then retreating when things became chaotic. Entire situation for screen time, and yes, there were conspiracy theories that the entire fight was staged for ratings. Most insiders say it was not. And just when you thought the scandal couldn't get any more intense, K. Michelle, because of course she does, enters the scene. She went live on Instagram and, without revealing names, dropped a mysterious message that made fans immediately relate to the drama. Y'all better stop letting these power couples fool y'all. Just because someone's wearing matching Gucci doesn't mean they got peace at house. Within minutes, her live stream was screen recorded, reposted, and incorporated into numerous TikTok theories. As a result, not only are the main three, Rasheeda, Yandandi, and Mendy, enmeshed in a scandal, but other cast members and celebrities are also adding gasoline to the already raging fire. What about VH1? The network has gone into full damage control mode, according to sources, and she is talking about Yandandi and Mendy's K. Michelle spilling tea. The real kicker is that Rasheeda has reportedly been offered her own spin-off show, Out of This Chaos. According to a source close to production, the fans love Rasheeda because she is genuine, emotional, and respected. If she walks, we lose a significant portion of the show. Lawyers are reportedly reviewing contracts every day, and some high-level executives are debating whether to pull the next episode or air it with a massive disclaimer. Some say they are afraid of backlash, while others claim the ratings will be too high to ignore. She's offering Rasheeda a big bag to keep her on board, promising her more control, better scenes, and a redemption arc. However, some insiders claim that Rasheeda is still thinking about leaving because this slap was the last straw, saying that the betrayal was too intense, the pain was too real, and the camera is too intrusive. As for Mendy, sources say his management team is pushing him to issue a public apology because he doesn't believe he did anything wrong. You can't make this stuff up. Now the question is, will this be the end of Love and Hip Hop as we know it? Will Rasheeda sue? Will Mendeecees double down? Will Yandi finally break her silence? And most importantly, will this be the end of Love and Hip Hop as we know it? Because just when you think this storm is finally slowing down, it explodes again because guess who finally breaks their silence? Yep. After going silent for days, ignoring all the smoke, avoiding every tag and trending tweet, Sis finally responds. As a woman, a mother, and a wife, and instantly everybody knew this was about to be one of those posts. She begins in the sit-down interview, which is not a confessional, but rather a full-fledged Instagram post with a black and white filter, emotional piano music in the background, and a caption that looks like it took 2 hours to write. She asserts that she never desired the drama, that she detests seeing people suffer, and that she would never support violence, particularly between cast members she loves and respects. However, she then adds a phrase that went viral. She didn't mention Mendy's name, but the shade was too obvious to ignore. That line alone sent social media into full beast mode, with people accusing her of being manipulative and calculating. One viral tweet read, "So basically she threw the rock, hit her hand, and then wrote a poem about peace. Got it. I can't control how people react when people come from my family." Hold on, Yandandi really just said that? Rasheeda, meanwhile, didn't remain silent either. In response, She posted a brief, snappy, and direct photo with teary eyes and no makeup. The caption read, "Healing is messy, but I won't stay silent to protect anyone's ego." There were no names or tags, but the message was clear. And now that fans are officially divided, there is a civil war going on in the comment sections between Team Yandandi and Team Rasheeda. People are examining old episodes from years ago, taking photos of receipts, and even tweeting old episodes in which Yandandi made fun of Rasheeda before they were cool. It turns out that this feud may have been simmering for years, but the cameras never really captured the intensity. Then, without warning, Mama D decides she wants a piece of the limelight. Yep, the Queen of Mess herself goes live on Instagram, while drinking wine and discussing how real women don't let other women get smacked over no man. Fans asked, now what show is she on? However, Mama D never allows a messy event to go unnoticed. People have shared her life all over the internet with comments like, "She's messy, but she's not wrong." This wasn't the first time hands got thrown behind the scenes. "We just never aired it before, but this was too big to hide," he exclaims. In a shocking interview with a hip-hop producer from Atlanta and Boom and Old Love, hold on, everyone is going full FBI now. They're asking, what else have you been hiding? Who else got slapped? Who else left the set and never returned? All of a sudden, everyone is rewatching previous sequences with fresh eyes. That's the look Yandandi gave Rasheeda in Oh Now It Has Meaning in Season 9. That awkward moment at the reunion where Mendeecees sees that no one clapped when Rasheeda walked in. Now fans are like, oh, that was tension. A second angle of the slap that hasn't been made public yet allegedly shows Yandi's actual reaction when it happened. Word is in that angle, and she smirks if that's true. It's crazy how far this rabbit hole goes, and then suddenly an ex-producer comes forward with even more dirt. Is going to sink like the Titanic, and now VH1 is in full panic mode. Executives are arguing over whether or not to broadcast the episode at all. Some want to remove the audio, while others want to blur it out. But some shady people in the boardroom say no. Advertisers are already swarming gossip websites and creating stories before the episode airs, and the ratings are going to skyrocket. However, here's the plot twist that no one anticipated. Rasheeda's lawyer makes a public statement. Yes, it's that serious. The statement claims that Rasheeda is now assessing her Mendy doubles down again in a clubhouse room late at night, allegedly saying, "I'm not apologizing for protecting my wife." You all are on the internet fake outraged, but if someone came for your family, what would you do? This man really thinks he's a hero in a Marvel movie. Legal options denounce the beginning violence and demand that VH1 take immediate and appropriate action. Isn't just a plot point anymore. It's about lawsuits, image protection, and possibly even criminal charges. Turning off comments on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Fans are saying, if you can't take the heat, stop trying to cook up drama. But in the midst of all of this, guess who makes a final messy appearance? Kirk goes on live with a radio personality and essentially confirms everything Rasheeda said. She was traumatized, and we were about to leave the show altogether. That slap was real. It wasn't staged, and they were lucky I wasn't on set. Or it would have been a different kind of episode. The network is getting ready to air the episode, and they've already announced a special reunion-style sit-down between Rasheeda Yandandi and Mendeecees hosted by none other than Nina Parker. Yes, they're pulling out all the stops for this one. Sources say the sit-down was tense, awkward, and ugly, with Rasheeda barely speaking and Yandandi trying to spin Mendeecees' refusal to admit. This was the biggest scandal in love and hip-hop history. Bigger than Mimi's shower rod, bigger than Joe's line versus everyone, bigger than Stevie J's bus of lies. Anything. And Kirk sat in the corner with his arms crossed like a security guard ready to jump. There was no resolution, just more chaos, leaving the fans to wonder where to go from here. Will Rasheeda remain on the show? Will Yandi's brand survive? Will Mendy finally be held accountable? Or will Mona Scott Young figure out a way to turn this entire disaster into the highest-rated season ever? If there's one thing that hip-hop and love always deliver, it's chaos. And this time it wasn't just scripted. What do you think Mendy saw right in defending Yandandi in that way? Or did he go too far? Did Rasheeda just get caught in the crossfire? Or was she actually trying to stir things up and tell me this? Phew, did we just watch the downfall of an entire love and hip-hop dynasty in real time? Are we watching reality TV royalty crumble right in front of us? After all the slaps, the shade, the Instagram essays, and the behind-the-scenes chaos isn't just tea, baby. Knew exactly what she was doing the entire time. Or is she just an expert at playing the innocent while pulling strings behind the scenes? I want you all to share your thoughts in the comments section, such as, your way depends on it, Team Yandandi, Team Rasheeda, protect the brand, or Team expose it all. If you thought this was messy, don't worry, because the next episode will make it look like preschool drama. You won't want to miss it, so hit the like button like Mendeecees smash. Turn on post notifications because the tea we're serving next, baby, is hot, and Rasheeda's ego hit subscribe so you don't miss another scandal. Then continue to be disorganized, curious and attentive, because this tale is far from over.